So hello everyone, we are learning the subject of electromagnetics, and today we will study the chapter of your radiation numericals. So we will see here already we have solved simplified various numerical in the last session. Today also we will continue the few numericals which is on the basis of the chapter, that is electromagnetic radiations. So here in the yesterday session we have simplified around the 7 numericals. So today we will continue the numerical number 8. The directivity of an antenna, all of you know, the directivity of an antenna is 30, and it operates at it operates at a frequency of 100 megahertz, and it operates at a frequency of 100 megahertz. First off, find its maximum effective aperture. Find its maximum effective aperture. Yesterday only I have told you how we can simplify, how we can calculate the directivity, we can calculate the directive gain GD. Okay, so here what is mentioned in this numerical? In this numerical, two parameters are mentioned. That is nothing but the antenna directivity. Second is nothing but the frequency. Okay, so directivity is given as a 30, whereas the frequency is given as a 100 megahertz. So for finding the maximum effective aperture, that is denoted by AE. Okay, maximum effective aperture. AE is the effective aperture, whereas the maximum is nothing but smaller. So AEM. So AEM is nothing but the maximum effective aperture. How we can find that maximum effective aperture for the antenna, any type of antenna, while you are going to find out the radiation of that particular antenna while the transmitting and the receiving. So at that time, how you can find that particular antenna while the transmitting and the receiving the signals is at that time, what should be the radiation of that, and what should be the effective aperture in that particular radiation. So how we can calculate, that is nothing but lambda square by 4 pi d. So this is nothing but the maximum effective aperture for calculating the radiation in the antennas. Okay, whereas the directivity of the antenna is given, that is of 30, and the frequency of the 100 megahertz. These two, on the basis of these two parameters, we will find out the unknown parameter, that is nothing but AEM. But before that, we should know how we can calculate the unknown parameter once again, that is nothing but the wavelength. Wavelength is denoted by the lambda, and this lambda can be calculated as V0 by F. This V0 is nothing but the 3 into 10 raised to the power 8 divided by 100 into 10 raised to the power 6. So here the effective aperture, maximum effective aperture can be calculated as lambda square by 4 pi into d, whereas lambda is the wavelength, and that can be calculated with the help of the velocity of the light and the frequency. So 3 into 10 raised to the power 8 divided by 100 we already given. With the help of that, lambda we will get as 3 meters. So you can substitute the value of lambda square, that is nothing but the 3 square, into d value is nothing but the 30, and the 4 pi will be as it is. Likewise, you will get the 270 divided by 4 pi. So finally, the maximum effective aperture for this particular antenna is nothing but 21.48 meter square. As this is the area, so you need to take as a meter square, 21.48 meter square. So this is the numerical number 8. So the given parameter was the directivity D, and the frequency was the 100 megahertz, and we have calculated the maximum effective aperture. So we will go for the next numerical. Determine the effective length of n lambda by 2 antenna. Determine the effective length. Determine the effective length of n lambda by 2 antenna having the radiation resistance, having a radiation resistance 73 ohm, having radiation resistance of 73 ohm. Effective aperture area is 0.15 lambda square, 0.15 lambda square, and intrinsic impedance in free space is 120 pi. Intrinsic impedance in a free space is 120 pi. First of all. So how parameter is given in this numerical? In this numerical, the radiation resistance is given, the effective aperture is given, the intrinsic impedance in the free space is given, and we need to calculate the effective length. Okay, we need to calculate the effective length. How we can find that effective length for this particular antenna? So first of all, note down the given parameter. So radiation resistance. The radiation resistance is denoted by RR, and that is given as a 73 ohm. Radiation resistance is equals to RR is equals to 73 ohm. The effective aperture area is equals to AE is equals to 0.15 lambda square is given. Effective aperture area is equals to AE is equals to 0.15 lambda square. Next is the intrinsic impedance is equals to eta. Intrinsic impedance is equals to eta is equals to 125. Eta is equals to 125. Next, effective length of the antenna. Effective length of the antenna can be calculated as L effective is equals to 2 root of AE into RR divided by eta. So this is the derived expression for finding the effective length of your the particular antenna. So that is nothing but 2 root of AE into RR divided by eta. So we are having the effective antenna that is given as 0.15 lambda square, whereas radiated resistance is nothing but your the 73, and the intrinsic impedance is given as a 125. Okay, in the many of the cases, if not mentioned the effective intrinsic impedance, at the time also you can consider, just because of this, that the constant values 125 or 377, we can take directly the intrinsic impedance, that is a eta. Similar to that, the effective aperture is 0.15, but here also again the lambda is unknown. Okay, the clear lambda is not, because we need to find out that determine the effective length of that lambda by 2 antenna. That lambda by 2 antenna is nothing but the half dipole. So here the effective length by substituting the value of your the AE, by substituting the value of your the RR, and by substituting the value of your the eta, you will get as 0.341 lambda in meters. 0.341 lambda in meters. That is L effective. So L effective is nothing but length of effective length. Effective length, that is nothing but 0.34. So in this way, 3 parameters were given, and we have calculated one unknown parameter, that is nothing but the effective length of the antenna. Okay. We will go for the next numerical now. Determine the maximum effective aperture of an antenna which is operating at a frequency of 150 megahertz and has a directivity of 200. Determine the maximum effective aperture of an antenna which is operating at a frequency of 150 megahertz and has a directivity of 200. So how many, again the parameter is given in this case? In this case, the 2 parameters are given. One is nothing but your the frequency, that is nothing but 150 megahertz. Second is nothing but the directivity, that is nothing but the 200. And the what we can say, we are finding the maximum effective aperture. We are finding the maximum effective aperture. Okay, you can say AEM, maximum effective aperture. How we can find? So just note down at the beginning, that is a given parameter f is equals to 150 mega. You can take as 10 to the power 6 of hertz. Now the directivity is equals to D is capital D is equals to 200, and the effective aperture can be calculated as effective aperture is equals to AE is equals to AEM, because the maximum effective aperture is given. So AEM is equals to lambda square D by 4 pi. So substitute the value of your the here. Again, the unknown parameter is nothing but the lambda. Lambda can be calculated as lambda is equals to, in many of the textbooks they are referring as a V0 by F, or in the many of the textbooks they are referring to C by F. Don't get confused. That is nothing but the velocity of the light. So C by F, that is a 3 into 10 to the power 8, and that is nothing but 150 megahertz. That is a 10 to the power 6. In this way, you will get as the lambda is nothing but the 2 meters. So substitute the value of that 2, that is nothing but the lambda square, 2 square into what is the D, 200 divided by the 4 pi. So if you are going to multiply with the 2 square, that is a 4 into 200 divided by the 4 pi, you will get as 63.69 meter square. AEM, maximum effective aperture, 63.69 meter square. So before going to start the numerical, always remember, read twice or thrice the question, then note down the given parameter, then note down the which things you need to calculate, then start with the formula, so that you will get a good marks if you are going to do like this. So we will go for the next numerical. Again, the determine the effective aperture of an antenna having the directivity of the 500. Determine the effective aperture of antenna having the directivity of 500. So here only one parameter is given, that is nothing but the directivity, and we need to calculate the unknown parameter, that is nothing but the effective aperture. So effective aperture area, that is nothing but the AE. We need to calculate AE, and given D is equals to 500. So how it is possible? Again, the E is equals to lambda square D by 4 pi. Here the lambda frequency is not given, so you need to substitute the lambda as it is. You need to substitute the value of the lambda as it is, just because there is no frequency, because the lambda will be equals to C by F. We don't have that frequency, so no need to calculate the lambda. Lambda, keep it as it is. So lambda square into 500 divided by the 4 pi, you will get as 39.81 lambda square. 39.81 lambda square meter square. 39.81 lambda square meter square will be your the effective aperture. Without the frequency we have calculated, the lambda will be as it is, only the given value was a directivity, that is for 500. Go for next one. An antenna operates at 10 gigahertz frequency with a 3 ampere current. Find the radiated power. So in the last session, we have calculated the radiated power or denoted by WR. In many of the textbooks, the radiated power is also denoted by the PR. Okay, so that is nothing but radiated power. So here in this case, we need to calculate the radiated power P rad or the PR, okay, or the omega R, doesn't matter what notation we are going to take. You need to note down the long form, that is too important. That is radiated power is equals to PR, or the P radiate is equals to. So what is the formula? That is P radiated is equals to that is nothing but the RR into I square. RR is nothing but the radiated resistance into I square. That is, here in this case we are using the formula of basic formula of the power P is equals to I square R. So here the R is nothing but the radiated resistance, R is nothing but the current. Current is given of 3 ampere. Okay, and as such, even though the frequency is given, but there is no role of the frequency, but RR is not mentioned, and we know very well in the one of the numerical previous, we have simplified the radiated resistance for the 73 for the dipole, the half dipole. Okay, so 73 divided by the 2 for the full, 73 divided by 2 if we are going to take. Okay, 73 divided by 2, so you will get as a 36.56, because in that previous case that was what we can say, the half dipole, and that was clearly mentioned the 73 was the radiated power, but in this case you need to take that radiated power is nothing 73 divided by 2, you can take as a 36.5, that is nothing but the RR, and the curve substitute the value of the current, that is nothing but the 3, so 3 square into 36.5, you will get as this power radiated is nothing but 329.04 watt. 329.04 watt. So here the next numerical is nothing but to calculate the effective area of the half wave dipole operating at a frequency of 800 megahertz. Again, the frequency is given, and you need to calculate that is nothing but effective aperture, which is one of the two important parameter for while you are going to find the antenna radiation. So F is nothing but the frequency 800 megahertz, 800 into 10 to the power 6 hertz. Effective aperture is AE is nothing but lambda square D by 4 pi. So again, the lambda, as the frequency is given, you can find now the lambda wavelength. The lambda is equals to C by F. That is a 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by 800 into 10 to the power 6. So you will get as 0.375 is nothing but the lambda. So for the half wave dipole, their directivity Already we have calculated this 1.644 in the last lecture, how we can calculate that half wave dipole directivity. There is a formula 10 log 10 of sun. So that is possible to calculate by remembering that one. Directivity will be 1.644 for the half wave will be the fixed one. So we just substitute the value of d square and lambda square d into 4 pi. So lambda is 0.375 square into d is nothing but 1.644 and this way you can calculate the effective aperture as 0.3102 meters square. This is in the form of your the dB, so 0.3102 meters square is nothing but the effective aperture. If you are having the frequency, you can find easily. Now the last numerical is nothing but your calculate the power radiated by an half wave dipole in drawing a current of a 10 ampere. So here again what you need to calculate, you need to calculate the power radiated, that is nothing but the P radiated or the omega radiated, uh, P radiated or you can say the omega radiated, yeah, omega R. In many of the textbooks they are referring omega R as a power radiated, or in many of the textbooks they are referring P R, or in many they are using P rad, RAD rad. So likewise, you can find that you can calculate the power radiated if you are having the current of your the 10 ampere, and how it is possible. So IRMS value of your the current ampere is given, and we need to calculate the P radiated. So that is again by considering the half dipole as clearly mentioned, that is nothing but equal to half power dipole is mentioned clearly. That's what we are taking as the RR radiated power is a 73, and the current is which is given as a 10 ampere. So I square RR, that is nothing but 10 square into 73, that is nothing but 7300 watt. So in this way we have calculated the radiated power if you're having the current of a 10 ampere, and by substituting the value of your the radiated power, you can find the radiated power with the help of that RR radiated resistance. So in this way, we have simplified the various numerical which were on the basis of your the antenna radiation, and the how we can calculate the effective aperture, how we can calculate maximum effective aperture, how we can calculate the radiated resistance, how we can calculate the radiated power, if the frequency is given and not given, if the directivity is given and not given. In this way, we can find the mini pi. Even we have calculated the effective length also, that is nothing but L effective. So in this way, we have tried to simplify the many numerical which were on the basis of your the radiation, electromagnetic radiation, by considering the antenna. Okay, so antenna radiation, the numerical we have simplified. So thank you so much.